Hi there, and welcome to another episode of Women with Good Chat. I'm here with my good buddy Pam.
Good afternoon, Amanda.
How are you?
I'm great. Very excited about our little setup.
Yes,
today.
you might notice we've got a slightly different setup today because we wanted to continue on with sort of an extended summer series. We were talking about potlucks in our last episode and how it's a great way to get together in person, which is one of our continuing themes, connecting in person, right?
Absolutely.
Coffees, parties,
Absolutely.
get-togethers. And so we just wanted to talk a bit about how to roll it out and how to, I guess maybe approach it somewhat from the host standpoint, but also greatly from the guest standpoint.
Absolutely. And I think, Amanda, I'm thinking about this topic. I was thinking, is this getting a bit frivolous in a sense, talking about these things? But when you really come down to it, with our emphasis on wanting people to get together, wanting to make space for intimate conversation, time spent together, the reality is if you make that hard to do, you're not going to do it.
Exactly.
Okay, so some of this may seem like, whatever, but if you can get to a point where entertaining in your home with groups of friends is a lot less effort, you are way more likely to do it more, and everybody's going to enjoy it more too. So I think it's important to think about the setup, because I think when the evening's done, you're not going to feel as frazzled and you're going to be way more likely to do it again. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
So, and we do hear this quite a bit from friends, our group of friends in our age group that who are all still busy, but putting on an event can seem even more taxing at this stage potentially.
Yeah.
So when you decide you're going to have a little party, you're going to have a potluck. Again, we have to come up with a better name. Please suggest one. I'm open to suggestions. Then, if it's less cumbersome for the host, then they're likely more to want to have you over, and everybody can take turns hosting, obviously. So we just wanted to showcase a couple of items that we've got here today, just as, examples of what you can bring. So Pam, why don't you start us off? What do you have?
So today I bought a gazpacho.
Lovely.
Because we were thinking a little bit about a theme. It's been really hot here in Toronto. So we were both thinking of something that's summery, that's light, and so for me a gazpacho is perfect for that. Few reasons I would bring a gazpacho. First of all, it's all in one bowl, right? You've got your whole dish in one bowl. I brought with it some sour cream. This is a Mexican version. Some sour cream, some limes, which are just really really nice additives. I've brought with me the bowls, which it will be served in.
Beautiful.
And I brought with me the utensils, which are needed for it. So the reason I think this is just a good, really little compact thing is it didn't take any preparation in your kitchen. Everything was easy to pack, easy to bring. It'll be easy to pick up and easy to take home. And all of that, I think, really adds to the ease with which you're going to get through the day.
Exactly. So what you want to think when you're bringing something, and again, these can be organized ahead of time, obviously, so there can be an email list, or you can use one of the many apps that are available. I'm not going to promo any of them, but you can go in your app store and find many potluck apps that help ease the process of who's bringing what. So you can do that. Sometimes we do have a list. Sometimes we just kind of go, okay, you bring dessert, you bring a main,
Yes. Yep.
You bring a salad, and it has always really worked out really
Yes.
well.
Absolutely.
And so that's great. Now, what I brought today is not as of ease as that one.
Amanda's hosting today, though, right?
I'm hosting.
You're
today.
hosting, so you're working from the hostess stand.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
So ideally, what I would have had was I have like a big glass jar. You can get them at Canadian Tire anywhere, and they have a little spout. And so you can. I'm doing drinks today, so you can load a drink into that, bring it to the host, all done, and then you can bring a bowl of ice, or they might have ice for you. That's the only sort of extra, somewhat tricky little ingredient that's here is the ice. But your drink mix can be done all together. And like you can just bring it also in like a bottle, something like this, or like I said, in a glass or plastic dispenser. And then I've just got, you can option to rim it how you want. There's a lime and Maldon salt rim here, and this is lime, blood orange, and Maldon salt here. So if you just have those kind of laying out, people can rim it themselves, and then just pour their drink from the vessel. And we're going to test these later. So that's a nice little blood orange margarita all ready to go.
Now, and I think one thing that, you know, what Amanda's talked about here is we both think that if you are the person hosting a potluck, I think it's important that you are also not required to do a huge amount.
Yes.
That's my view. People may differ on that, but again, if we are going to keep this working for everyone involved, then if you're the one, you know, getting the house clean, which is a bit of a task for me, you're the one, you know, having the paper plates, napkins, whatever else you're going to do, and you're setting up and everything. I think it's reasonable to say the hostess, the host or hostess doesn't need to contribute too much with the cooking. I don't know how you feel about it.
No, I mean, I think that's great. I think that if you're providing the venue, and you still have to clean it up and have the bathroom all ready to go and all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
You might want to make some room in your fridge. You might have to organize with people if they are going to need the oven or whatever it is. Again, optimally, you bring something that's warm or in a crock pot or that you don't have to heat up at all. That is always great. But yeah, the hostess might have to freeze up some freezer space, some fridge space, clean the place up. Maybe have the paper plates and napkins and all that kind of stuff. Also, you can have someone whose responsibility it is to bring those things.
Yes, absolutely.
So again, if you don't want to bring something, we were talking about bringing a purchased item, so you could do that, and that could actually be what everybody's going to eat off of.
That's right.
And drink out of. So that's great. I know, Pam, you brought your own utensils today.
I brought my own utensils today. That's just because it was easy, right? And that was just, you know, one thing that, again, is off of the table, especially because I brought a soup. So, you know, you will need an extra spoon for that, right?
Yeah.
So it just was easy to do. And then the other thing I brought, should we talk about that?
Sure.
The other thing I brought was, go get it.
Yes. So Pam, talking about purchased items, Pam brought something really fun that people can have after their gazpacho and probably after their margarita. And that is some delicious gelato.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
So I decided to bring this as my second item for two reasons. First of all, because of what we were talking about, which is there inevitably are people in your group which do not want to cook, don't cook a lot, or simply are really busy at the point in time. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with bringing purchased items to potlucks.
Right.
What I would say about it, though, is that just give it a bit of thought. So for me, I ended up bringing Ed's Gelato. Anybody who's from Toronto will know Ed's Gelato. Anyway, I ended up bringing, you know, a really good gelato. This is the one that when my family and I go to the ice cream store to get our cones, everybody wants this one. It's burnt marshmallow. So anyway, the point I'm trying to make is there's been some thought into what you're buying. And, you know, one of my friends who comes to numerous potlucks that I've had, she has wonderful taste in French pastries. Now, she doesn't make French pastries, you know. No one but you would make it. Only Amanda would do it. Anyway, but she always purchases them, brings them, and they are such an amazing treat because people don't usually get French pastries. She knows exactly where to go for them.
Great.
So that, you know, all of these things are contributions that people make in their own way. So all I would say is if you're going to bring a bought item, just give it a bit of thought, if that's a fair thing to say. The other thing about the gelato was, again, with the serving dishes, if you're trying to help cut down, the gelato, same dishes, same spoons and everything else. So this was a very easy kind of one step, one setup thing to bring, and hopefully everybody would enjoy it. Now, if we were having, you know, a bigger potluck, you know, certainly I'd bring a variety of flavors, but that was very easy. Down to one of your local specialty stores, grab a few things and bring them.
Yeah, and that's another good point is when, if it's a gathering of a few people, obviously, you have a few items and there's just a few of you, you're probably going to be around the table where things are displayed, so you can easily talk about your item. If it's a larger gathering, let's say it's 15 people plus, then you might want to have just a little label that, or a little tinted card that says what your item is. Potentially, if there are people that have sensitivities, you can list the sensitivity things on there just in case, which is a thoughtful thing to do. Because we're talking about being thoughtful when you And just another point I wanted to make is normally we would bring something to drink. Now, obviously, I brought the margaritas, but people will bring wine or something else.
Yes.
And when you do bring a bottle of wine, my suggestion to you is bring one for the party and one for the host.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's a tradition, and
or you can bring a little bunch of flowers or something. But just, it's always nice to bring something for somebody.
A little bit of something for the host, absolutely.
And another helpful hint too is if you are having a larger group and you do actually have a list, then you can always be the point of contact for people when they're like, how much do I bring? So Pam brought a beautiful soup. You probably get at least 10 to 12 good portions out of what she brought today. I only brought enough for us two to have margaritas, but but it's just something else to keep in mind.
So how would you think about that if you were hosting the party? So let's say we've got a party of 15 people. How, like, ballpark the number of servings we would bring?
So if it's 15 plus, then you want to bring enough for half the crowd.
Half the crowd.
So you want half, every dish should cover sort of half the crowd, because you will find that there's going to be a lot left over. And even though that's lovely for the host, unless people take things home, it's another thing is someone can bring takeout containers if people are going to take things home, or the host can provide that. But for the host to then have to repackage everything and stuff everything into her fridge, that is lovely, but also not awesome.
Right.
Because sometimes fridges are pretty packed.
Right.
So if you know that, you're having 15 people, then you want to have,
7 good size servings.
You want to have 8 ounces per half the crowd of your gazpacho. You want to have 1 chicken leg per person. You know what I mean?
Right.
For the number that you're catering to.
Yeah.
So,
And the only thing I'd add to that, if you're the only person who you think is bringing dessert, say, then that ups it a bit.
Yes.
Right? So again, if there's 5 salads coming, but if you've got 15 people, as we suggested, you're probably going to have duplicates of your protein and your salads and things.
Yeah.
So yes.
And everybody wants to bring some type of salad. So be different and bring something else.
Our salads big one. It's true. Salads are big ones.
Which are great, but
salads are big ones. Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So I think that's
it.
We covered a lot.
And we've been waiting for the margarita.
Let's try it.
There we go.
Let's see what it's like.
Am I putting my orange in, or is it
it's just your beautiful
okay. Cheers.
Happy potlucking, everyone.
Happy potlucking.
Not bad, not bad. We look forward to seeing you next time on
Women with Good Chat.
Chat then.